All right, what is good? Let's check this sound, make sure we're good to go. Oh, you know we got some good boxing to talk about today because people are losing their damn mind. But let's check. Man, I'm telling you, man, dude, not everybody's meant to run a business. Man, I'm telling you, man. Not everybody is meant to run a business, man. It's not a calling for everybody. Okay. And what do you call that? What is the nepotism? Dog, nepotism is killing boxing right now. Got it. Nepotism is killing boxing right now. Do you guys know what nepotism is? You know what nepotism is? What's good, man? What's good, everybody? We're gonna cook today something serious. We might cook too much. Plate might be too hot. I had to redo a video this morning because I was like, that's too hot. Don't worry, I'm gonna release the hot one on the members. I'm gonna drop the hot one on the members. But I did a G-rated one for the major for the regular channel. So just so you know, what members, what y'all about to get is y'all about to get some like straight up rated R plus videos. In the same, talking about the same subjects I talked about in the main videos. But I'm gonna let you cats really know. What up, GD? You said, what up, Fannon? Always great shows. Thanks, man, because we trying to make it happen. You guys make the show great. Thank you very much. But look, here's the thing. Nepotism. Nepotism is when people get jobs because of who they're related to. And it's killing boxing. Killing it. Killing it. Imagine basketball if David Stern's son immediately became commissioner of the NBA. Would that ever be the case? What would you think of an organization like the NBA if the owner, if the commissioner, you know, the one that sanctions the games, if when he retired, his son took over? What reasonable questions could be asked? Like, is this dude competent? Does he feel like the job is his birthright? Or does he believe that he has responsibilities? Mauricio Suleiman thinks the WBC is his birthright. He thinks boxing apparently is his birthright. Because what he said was, I no longer consider the WBC a major championship belt as of right now. I'm done. The audacity of him to say, to take the position with Floyd Mayweather Jr. that he took, are you serious? Don't ever expect one champion because we have to make money. Who is we? Mr. Suleiman, who is we? We is not me. Me pay thee. You want more of our money for less. And you better get real, Floyd Mayweather Jr., because you ain't never going to get it. What the fuck? I'm done with the WBC. I'm done. There's no way I would do business with somebody that said that to me. You immediately walk out of the door on somebody that would say something like that. All boxing fans want is one champion. And they don't care whether or not you make money, man. Boxing fans do not give a shit whether the WBC makes a fucking penny. Who cares whether you go broke or not? And I mean that wholeheartedly. I do not give a fuck if you go broke. Just like you don't give a fuck if I go broke. If I pay you for something, I want what I paid for, period. If you can't do it, maybe the WBA can do it. If the WBA can't do it, maybe the WBO can do it. Whoever can do it, do it. Because that's a guy that can give me a champion. You are selling me championship fights and saying you refuse to give me a champion. A champion. Because you go broke. What do I care? How much money the WBC makes? Dude, you ain't Floyd. You don't get to say I'm making the business decision because you're going to watch me either way. You are a paper pusher. You are a paper pusher. You have the job that really should be held by the state. Sanctioning fights. Are you kidding me? No, nobody give a shit about the color green like that. What? No, I ain't going to have a stroke. I ate my garlic this morning. I took my 1,500 milligrams of garlic. I'm all right. I'll be all right. But oh no, dog, I can't believe that he said that. Seriously, I can't believe it. Like, do you guys think before you speak? Do you think before you speak? Let me say this very politely. I don't care who I get my boxing from as long as I get my boxing. If the WBC started sanctioning tetherball competitions, I would not ever watch you because I don't care about tetherball. I gave up tetherball in the 6th grade. I want to see boxing. I want to actually see the actual fighter. You are a middleman. I want it wholesale anyway. Okay? Let me be crystal clear so people don't think I'm making it up. I just spent $1,200 to buy a ticket. One ticket for Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz. I did not care if they had the WBC, the WBA, or the IBF belt. I paid almost $1,500 so I could see that little nigga from Baltimore beat up that duck artist out there from California. I don't care about the WBC. I don't care about the WBA. I keep telling you, I'm the customer. I pay for the fights. I am testifying to you, not as somebody who has a press credential and going to the Gervonta Davis on a thing on a press credential. No, you're talking to a guy that is going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to the Alamo Dome, and then I'm going to walk down to the floor and I'm going to sit right on the fucking floor from the first fight to the last fight watching that event. And I do not care about the belts. I can testify I did not pay that money because of you or the WBA or the WBA or WBO or the IBF or Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn or anybody other than Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. And guess whose money is paying? Mine. You talking to Floyd and saying, Floyd, get over it, we ain't going broke. You made the mistake of talking to a boxer where a boxing fan could hear you. That is the conversation you need to have to Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a promoter. But you don't need to have that around us because now we know you're getting over on us. That you have now admitted to adding multiple belts so that you could make more money off the same product. You are cutting the shit. You are purposely cutting it. Okay? If I buy something from you, I want what I bought. Okay? So if you are selling me, say, some sage, okay? A big pile of sage, because I want to cook with sage. And I come to you and I grab the sage, and then I'm like, I get home and I open it up, and half of it is parsley. Half of it is parsley. Hold on, man. You were selling me sage. Why is there so much parsley in this? Well, we couldn't make enough profit off of just giving you what we are saying we're giving you. So what we're giving you is watered down shit that you didn't ask for. Now come back and do business next week. Duh. Marissa Suleiman is what you missed. Because my understanding is that in the WBC, see, because you know what this is? You know also what you might realize too? You know what you might realize too? WBC, that businesses go out of business. You can go out of business. Yes, you can. You all were founded in the early 1960s. That's 60 years ago. You're not 60 years old. So that means you were born when the shit was already going on. So it's been there your whole life. It's not been there everybody's whole life. It's not been there St. Cruz's whole life. Okay? And just like Top Rank, just like DAZN can fold, so can the WBC. Because boxers saying that, you now know boxers that they're just taking your money, man. Okay? He said, boxers, get out of here. You're never going to be the only champion. We got to make money. What do you think this is? You think you're fighting to be the best, Errol? No. We're going to put a franchise on top of you whenever the fuck we feel like it. Errol, now pay me my fucking sanctioning fees. Are you nuts? Are you boxers punks like that for real? Seriously. Because if that was me and I was big enough not to care, dog, I would never fight for that belt. I would do just like Riddick Bowe. Take that shit right there with you, man. Thank you. Keep my own fucking money. You're crazy. Dog, guess what? Gervonta Davis could fight Teofimo Lopez for no belt right now at all. And it would not make a difference. They would still do the same numbers. You guys are lying about those belts. You're acting like those belts actually have value. They do not have value. What they're doing is siphoning value away from the fighter. You're already siphoning the shit off, period, because you're not essential. You're a non-essential worker. You're a middleman. Get the fuck out of my way, middleman. All I want to do is see the fight. All I want to see is the fight. Dude, Floyd Mayweather Jr. just made $10 million beating somebody up over there in Japan. Dude, he didn't need the WBC. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford don't need the WBC. They don't need them. All they need is a fucking venue and not to be locked down by Bob Arum, suing them if they try it. That's the only thing they need. And us. And that's why I told you, because you think, oh, Fernando's talking shit. No, I paid for my own ticket at a very high price. And I was lucky that I didn't have to pay $4,000 because I was lucky enough just to find one ticket because I only want to go myself. That's how much I love boxing. I'm not going to talk to nobody. I ain't going to interview with nobody. I'm not going to kick it. I'm going to walk over to that motherfucker. I'm going to walk right in that bitch, sit my ass down, pay my $2,000 fucking dollars at the end of the day because two great American fighters are right there close to me and I refuse to miss it. But you want me to miss these great fights so you can get paid. That's what Mauricio Suleiman is telling you, that he wants you to miss out on fights so he can eat. And y'all need to get real if you think anything else is happening. Look, dog, You know what? You know the famous phrase, eat them, let them eat cake? Marie Antoinette, just prior to the French Revolution, let him eat cake. That was Mauricio Suleiman's let him eat cake statement. That was arrogant beyond belief. Beyond belief. I'm shocked at the arrogance. Dog, I don't need you, WBC. I, as a boxing fan, don't need you. I don't know about the rest of these people in the chat. I'm just saying I don't need you. Don't need your pins. Don't need your shirts. Don't need your belts. I don't need none of that shit. Okay? You see those pictures? There are pictures on the wall. I got Muhammad Ali autograph. I got 4 Muhammad Ali autographs. I got George Foreman autograph. I've got Joe Frazier autograph. And ain't none of them got a belt in it. And ain't none of them got a belt in it. None of them. If you ask who Muhammad Ali is, what belt did Muhammad Ali owns? 99% of the people that know Muhammad Ali could not tell you what belt he held. You all get paid because of the champions. And what we have in boxing now, they're trying to put a situation in when they just manufacture them. And that's all they give you. They manufacture it, and that's the only product that they put on the shelf. And tell you, buy this dusty fucking can of beans or starve. That's the let him eat cake attitude that I just heard out of Mauricio Suleiman. Yes, we know we could have just one championship, but just get real. We're not doing it because, hey, dog, I'm getting paid. Fuck you. I'm getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm paying though. And you're having this in the middle of a bunch of people ordering your stuff. Come on, man. The Devin Haney look, man, for real, you legalized performance enhancing drugs. Let's just go over this, and I will go through the super chats. But dog, for real, I said it's a cook today. Today it is a cook. Potting it, getting it up. Y'all control all y'all want in this. I don't even see you trolling. Just so you know, if you think your trolling is affecting me, I literally do not see you on my screen because I don't look at the main page. I don't see what you see. The only thing I see is people's who comments got approved by the wrenches. If they don't approve your comment, homie, I don't see it. I don't even see it. So you can talk all you want. I'm just telling you the straight truth, and you can like it or not. You can like it or not. We don't need you. There is the boxer, the middleman, and the fan. We don't need you. We don't. And I'm a fan. I'm not a boxer. I'm a fan. I don't need you. Give me a fair product for my money. Okay? Because guess what? The PBC just did. That's a fair product for my money. I was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, go down there and watch it. Shit, I'm close. I'll go. I know my wife don't want to go. My kids ain't going to want to go because it's boxing and it's, it's also this Corona shit. But I'm like, shit, if I'm on the floor and people are like 6 feet away from me, shit, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? As long as I got separation, there's not a bad seat in the house because I ain't there for everybody else to be there. I want to see the fight. I don't care about, dog, honestly, I just don't care about the WBC. I don't care about the WBA, the IBF, or the WBO. And I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you where you are really in the process. You are a middleman. You are a conduit between me and the fighters. You're just a conduit. And you're getting really arrogant about it. Okay? You're really getting arrogant about it. You don't deserve more. Dude, honestly, you shouldn't even be having profit. You should get a fucking fixed fee a year from some fucking body to do your fucking job. That's what's up. They need to pay y'all. They need to get a group of motherfuckers pay about $200,000, $500,000 a year for the whole organization. not give you any fucking fees whatsoever, and boom, there you go. Now, do your job free of any type of, oh, this guy's going to want you to do this or this guy's going to want you to do that. No, you get a flat fucking fee a year. Okay? You get a flat fucking fee a year, period. Matter of fact, that should be a membership fee, and that's it. If you want to get sanctioned by the WBC, you should have to pay a WBC membership fee, and that's it. That's what I'll do. I will pay you a membership fee. Flat rate a year once I become a champion. That's it. No, I'm not giving you a percentage of shit. You shouldn't be able to get a percentage of shit. You should only be able to get a flat fee, and it shouldn't matter what the fucking thing is, because that is affecting your decisions. You get a flat fee, period. If a champion wins your belt, they should have to pay you a flat fee as a champion. No matter what fight they fight and no matter who they fight, you should get the same amount of money, so you can be honest and stop with these conflicts of interest. Stop manipulating stuff. Stop making up these fucking rules every other 5 seconds so you can maximize your profit. We need to socialize you and make you a non-capitalistic entity in boxing. A flat fee, period. Administer the rules. If you want to get any extra money, it's going to be for catching people violating rules, because that's the job you should be doing. But that's not the job you're doing. The job you're doing is manipulating boxing and pimping the shit out of me. No, what you need to do is you need to punish fighters for failing performance-enhancing drug tests. You need to verify that their records are actually accurate and that these are safe and orderly fights. And you should have experts within the boxing field doing the rankings, period. And it needs to be systematic, not ad hoc. Period. And you can stay in business. Because everybody knows you need to pay them. Because they're doing a job. And then the belt would actually mean something. It would mean that this fight was clean and fair. It would mean that these fighters are actually the top fighters in the sport. So we know as boxing fans that we're really seeing the best, because right now all that championship shit is false advertising. It's false advertising because you're calling him a champion. You can't have 5 champions of the same thing unless you're using champion in the verb sense. Oh, I will champion a cause. Yeah, me getting paid. It's like you talking underneath your breath. Yeah, what I mean is he's a champion of paying me, bitches. Yeah, he a champion. He my silver champion. He pay me silver money. That's my franchise champion. He pay me franchise money. That's the regular nigga. He just pay me regular. He just pay me regular money. Because that's what it means to you when you say we got to make money off the belts. Exactly. Paper champs. You're going to get a lot of paper champs. Green paper champs. I'm telling you, man, that ain't even complicated. That's just not even complicated. But you know who would need to do that? The promoters. The promoters would have to say, look, fuck all this. Who's the champion? What's the process by which we get champions? And which sanctioning body are we going to fight with? Okay? Hey, Bob, what's the deal, dog? Bob don't want to do that shit. Bob wants 4 I don't give a shit. Bob's the one selling all these damn champions and splitting up the shit into 5 different people. Don't get rid of these people. Dude, Bob Arum got to go too. Okay? Bob Arum got to go too. If you are really, dude, they're just middlemen. I missed everybody's super chat, dog. I missed everybody's super chat. And I am really trying to get to people's super chats. I really like money. Okay, I know, Mauricio, I like money too. I like money. See, like when Mauricio says, and I'm going to have a section in about 4 minutes where I go through and I read everybody's super chats. But let me cook for a minute because I feel like, seriously, this is just a blessing to even be able to say it. Because it's clarity. It's truly clarity at this point in time. The WBC legalized performance-enhancing drugs. They completely bypassed the Muhammad Ali Act and the necessity to have legitimate ranking systems. That's just done. From what I can see, right? Now, I would say go seek an expert, specifically an expert on the Muhammad Ali Act to ask them. But I thought that the purpose of the Muhammad Ali Act was to do two things. One was to prevent boxers from being taken advantage of in unfair contractual policies, right? And that they got fair shots in the rankings, right? So they, on one hand, they separated the wall. They created a firewall between the promoter, whose job it is to take advantage of the fighter, and that's a fact. The promoter's job, one of the top jobs of a promoter, is to take advantage of the fighter. And that is not a personal thing. That's built into the structure of the organization. They are a resource to be maximized. You always pay your resource less than it's worth. You pay it, you sell it for more. So the less you pay them and the more you charge for it, the more money you make. And that is the margin in which Bob Arum is operating. He's not operating, or those are the metrics by which he operates and promoters operate. So they have to, by their very function and nature, take advantage of fighters. That's why the Muhammad Ali Act put in the firewall between the promoter and the manager. Because what is the manager's job? The manager's job is he has a fiduciary and ethical duty, Shelley Finkel. He has a fiduciary and ethical duty, Shelley Finkel, for his fighter. And any conflict of interest should be known and taken into consideration and clearly communicated to the people that you're working with. Because I am mind-boggled by the fact that Bob Arum would say that this is a plain meaning issue in Deontay Wilder's agreement. And I hate agreeing with Tyson Fury people. I hate it. The fact of the matter is, though, December 5th is kicking. And this guy might he's just making it up, right? If he's just making it up and you believe he's going to show up to some other date in December, I don't see where that's coming from. But maybe somebody knows something that I don't. And they just think he's pretending. No, he's already, if that contract did not expire, then Tyson Fury is an anticipatory breach of the agreement. And he should already know you're pressing it. So I'm like, I don't even get what's going on. I don't believe Bob Arum with this nonsense about because some attorney in or counsel in the UK said it's plain meaning, and so does some lawyer for Top Rank. Who cares? They don't get to decide it. A judge gets to decide it. So why isn't one doing it? Why is this shit moving so slow? That is the critique I really do have. But I wanted to explain that because that's the manager. And you have to have a wall between that manager and that promoter. Because the manager might have fighters with multiple fighters with the same promoter. If the same manager has multiple fighters with the same promoter, then they can barter between themselves at the expense of any of those fighters. Like, hey, man, Deontay needs a fight with this guy. Well, I'm not going to do that for Deontay, but look, I'll tell you the truth. Your other fighter, maybe I'll give you 4 or 5 undercard fights over there. How about we do that? Okay, you are not going to make your money on this fight, but don't worry, you're going to make up your money on the 5 or 6 other fights that I'm going to give you as a result of you shutting the fuck up and letting me fuck over Deontay Wilder. Don't tell me that shit can't happen. Because it can. And that's why the Ali Act is there. However, people they act like they don't know what the fuck the Ali Act is when they do things like the WBC did. Now, like I said, seek an expert. Because I've read it. And this is my understanding. Now, the other thing that my understanding it does is that it mandates that the American, what is it, the ABC, the American Board of Boxing Commissions, they actually have in that statute, they actually name a government organization called the American Boxing. It's like a quasi-governmental relationship between that and it's a go-between with the different sanctioning bodies and the different state boxing commissions. So it is connected. That's how the Ali Act connects into it. So the WBC creates something called the franchise belt and is running around saying that means you don't have to have a mandatory. If the champion doesn't need to have a mandatory, then why is there a ranking system at all? And if there's no ranking system at all, that has to be a violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. It has to be, because in order to have a legitimate ranking system, you have to have a ranking system. In order for it to be a ranking system, you're ranking it for what purpose? To fight the champion. But if the champion does not have to fight the rankings, anybody in the ranking system, and you just name the number one contender a champion, you are in violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. That's that's how I'm looking at it. It's clearly a situation where somebody ranking doesn't mean anything because Devin Haney was the number one contender. And then you told him that you elevated him to champion. But then now you're telling me he's not a champion. The champion that you said wasn't the champion is now the champion. And then when I ask, hey man, who's the champion of the WBC? You say Teofimo Lopez. Dude, you can't have it both ways. Who's the number one ranked guy in the WBC? Whoever that person is really the number 5 rated guy in the WBC. Right? Because he's the because there's the franchise champion, there's the champion, there's the WBC, but there's the silver guy, there's the blue guy, and then there is the number 1 guy. Dude, that ranking system is not intended to tell you who the top 5 fighters are. Who are the top 10 fighters? Your ranking system does not answer that question, and you're admitting that it doesn't. And you're admitting that you won't even name a champion. That has to be a violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. That has to be, in my opinion. Or at the very least, and this is what I'm telling you about Tyson Fury, you can make a reasonable argument that that's the case. And as a result, if you make a reasonable argument that you have an issue, you can take that to redress. You can seek redress within the justice system. You can seek redress. That's the whole purpose of having rules. Why would you have a rule if nobody's ever going to enforce it? But the Muhammad Ali Act has not been enforced. And that's why Mauricio Suleiman's running around doing this. That's why you obviously have guys whose managers work for a promoter. Truth be spoken, in order to eliminate all conflicts of interest, one manager, one fighter. One manager, one fighter. That will ensure that you do not have any conflict of interest. And if you do have any conflict of interest and you do not acknowledge them, then then the fighter who is under contract with you should be able to seek redress for their grievances. But you guys are perverting the whole thing. You're perverting the whole thing. So yes, Mauricio Suleiman can say that to a fighter. You can't say that to me as somebody that just spent almost $2,000 thinking I'm going to a championship fight. And you're telling me out your mouth that what I'm doing is not the truth, that I'm going to some make-believe, that there isn't really a WBA championship fight between Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, because I would be stupid to expect that, because they wouldn't make any money. But hold on, I just paid the money. Why didn't you charge me more? Why don't you charge me more? That's another reasonable way to solve the problem. charge the promoters more money. The promoter is getting 30%, damn near, they oftentimes, what are they getting, 20%? And the sanctioning body's only getting 3%? How about you take the money out of Bob Arum's pocket and leave me the fuck alone? How about that? Bob Arum is worth $300 million organizing fights. Maybe if you charge him some more money, then you wouldn't have to have 1 million belts. Won't you take up the championship from 3% to 10%? If you're going out of business, that's how you're supposed to do it, right? If you can't afford to put out your product, you charge more money for your product. You don't water your product down and then sell more of it and act like that's not what you're doing. That's dishonest. So, Mauricio, you can go to Bob, go to Eddie, go to those dudes and say, look, man, we cannot, all this championship shit, it's getting out of hand. We can't do this franchise belt. We can't do all that. We got to charge you 10% to stay in business. I'm sorry. The 3%, I know we had a really good working relationship, but no, it's not working anymore, man, because, you know, it's really driving down the value of boxing. And we have to do what's in the best interest of boxing, Bob. So instead of the 3% we're getting from you, I'm sure you'll pass on. Please do not pass this on to the fighter. However, we have to charge you 10% because we don't think this is quite right. All you're doing is organizing a fight for the fighter. The fighter's the champion. So really, you got to pay more money, and it need to come out of your pocket. You think they'll do that? No, they want to charge who? They want to charge us, right? Because they are completely relying on who? The promoter. So the promoter wanting to make more money gives them a bunch of bullshit and asks them to put a bunch of titles on it. And it's only gonna stop when people are like, dude, we all know what the deal is. See, we're not gonna stop going to boxing. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna watch boxing, but I'm gonna ignore you for sure. Because that WBC is not a championship. You just said it. All of it's horse shit. If we can't get one and we'll never get one, then stop dragging me by the nose. Okay? You've at least admitted that I will never get what I want. Thank you for telling me that. That I will never get what I want from you, I will never get as a boxing fan. Might have been the most ridiculous shit ever said in boxing history. It definitely trumps black fighters can't sell. Because I thought the black fighters don't sell. When you have the biggest fighters in boxing history being black, I thought that was a wow type of thing. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? But now, just to tell Floyd Mayweather, a fighter, to his face, because see, Floyd won that argument. Great job, Floyd. I'm impressed. Thoroughly impressed by Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I will get on topic in a second. I want to say, if anybody knows Floyd Mayweather Jr., tell, hey, man, I am thoroughly impressed. And I ain't impressed easily. I am thoroughly impressed. Because Floyd grabbed the motherfucking mic like he was the fucking boss, like fuck all the dumb shit. This is what the deal is. And went in. Like he didn't work for nobody. Like, this is my shit. I love boxing. And this is the fucking problem with boxing. I love boxing. That's what he said. And I believe it. He loves boxing. That's a guy that loves boxing. You know he loves it. Nobody can fucking train and be that focused on it and do the things that he's done without loving it. And he's definitely loved what it's done for him. And he is definitely one of the reasons there is a PBC and why there is a half a fucking chance that black fighters can get any recognition. To Floyd Mayweather Jr. He may not be he may not, have stopped the Floyd may not have stopped the draft like Ali. But damn it, ain't nobody broke that shit down like that I've ever heard in boxing. at that high level on that many issues. And then on top of it, got Mauricio Suleiman, the head of WBC, to say something that stupid in response. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Because now I know I do not have to any longer talk about these sanctioning bodies like they are to be taken seriously. Because they're just robbing me. And I know it's hard for me because I like the WBC. Like I was just telling people, who's the best belt? Oh, it's the WBC. You know, like when you're in a child and you're like, yeah, what do you like? Oh man, I rock with the Bulls. Yeah, the Bulls. Michael's the best ever. You know, when you're young and energetic and you're feeling something, you're feeling good, right? Before you learn how dirty things are and how wicked people are and how manipulative and sneaky, underhanded people can be. And then learn to actually cope with it. Long before that, you loved the WBC. They gave Floyd this. They gave Floyd the shot. Floyd was toting the WBC. Now what? 10 years later, what is it? Floyd is having a conversation with this man. This man straight up tells him, no, you're crazy if you think there's ever going to be one champion. Now, you think he could say, oh, well, is Mauricio Suleiman talking about within the WBC? Or you guys don't even waste your time with your super chats today. I love y'all, man. Thank you. But I have a suspicion I'm be able to run to 130 and not take anything other than a breath and a sip. Because it's just sad. I love boxing. And I recognize people that love boxing. And you, Fannon, you're so full of shit. Why you love boxing? I love boxing because of Muhammad Ali. Love it because I loved him. And you all are making a mockery of it. You don't deserve to be in the positions that you were in. Nepotism is almost always a sure ticket to decay. Because just because the father earned it doesn't mean the son is the father. They are two entirely different people. And if there was anything funny about the father, and I don't know that, I've not looked into the Suleimans, then it is going to be magnified in the son. Magnified. He was probably never taught to love the sport of boxing. He was taught to eat off of the sport of boxing. Most likely. What he's doing with Deontay Wilder, what he did with Deontay Wilder when Alexander Povetkin popped dirty. But then let's move on to the Kimbuterol. Then Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC said, oh, we did it because of WADA did it. So you guys, just in case you know, I'm going to go through what he's done for me to support what I'm saying. It's not just the thing that he said. The thing that he said just brought and connected everything that he's been doing. He legalized performance-enhancing drugs in boxing. And that is the truth. Before Mauricio Suleiman decided, and to this, and even right now, the WBC is the only sanctioning body to legalize the use of performance-enhancing drugs by raising the acceptable levels of Kimbuterol. Previously, it was a zero-tolerance policy. Now there is tolerance because of the WBC. Was that because of the money? Now that we know we cannot have a sanctioning body, we cannot have a single champion because of the money, and you've admitted that. Is the Kimbuterol about the money? You told me before that there are champions because they're the best. That's what champion is supposed to mean. You're the best, right? That's like Bob Arum says, that's the plain meaning. That is the dictionary meaning of champion. But you're telling me that the definition doesn't apply. But what else did he do? legalized Computerall after who? His franchise champion. You remember what franchise means? Because we're going to talk plain English. See, if y'all know who Neely Fuller, let me tell you what I'm doing here. Okay, this shout out to the LDBC. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm using Neely Fuller Jr.'s thought process. Using his thought process on this dude. And you have to give definitions to words so that they make sense to you. Okay? Now, yes, this is Patreon-ish. Yes, this is Patreon-ish. But this is the truth. In order to understand anything, you have to, for a word, you have to have a definition for that word. Now, you may have one definition and I may have a different definition, right? When you say champion, you think any motherfucker that pays me. When I think champion, I think the single best fighter in that division. See how he just told me champion does not mean that to me, him? Because champion can't mean that to them, right? Because champion to me, again, means one guy. He's the champion. NBA champion. The NBA does not have champions. They have champion, not champions. Weight divisions should not have champions. The WBC can have champions because they have multiple weight classes. But they want to add more weight classes and more championships. And they want acceptable levels of steroid use. And they want one guy, the guy that pays them the most money gets a free pass on mandatories. Because I said the definition, right? The definition for obviously to the WBC is that a champion is the person that pays me the most money. Why I think it's the best. So understand the definition, and then you know what you're saying. Then you know what the person's saying. Mauricio Suleiman is saying, look, man, there is no such thing as a boxing champion. There is only champions. That's where we're going with the sport. And I'm a leader of the sport. Wake up. I am the WBC. We are the most distinguished sanctioning body, and this is the direction that we are taking with the sport. We are legalizing performance-enhancing drugs as long as you microdose, and it's the acceptable drug. Now, don't go microdosing any type of Dianabol. Don't do that. We're going to tell you what drug you can microdose. You microdose only Computerall. That's our steroid of choice. Now, what else we're going to do? We're going to add another weight class that you don't want, but what we're going to do is we're just going to rename it. That's what they did. See, they said we want a super heavyweight division. And then everybody was like, man, fuck a super heavyweight division. Why we need a super heavyweight division? Why? Dude, and if anything, stop the holding by the big guys. Stop all that head control shit that you guys act like is legal. Shout out to Barry Hunter, though. But that shit ain't legal. That's called cheating. You know what I'm saying? Stop the holding and even the playing field for guys that are big but not tall. And you know how you do that? You allow them to fight on the inside by penalizing 6'9", 6'7", 6'8" guys on Computerall that are leaning on their back half of the fucking fight and making it a snooze fest for boxing fans. That's what Lamont Peterson said. Not Lamont Peterson. That's what Layman Brewster said. And what's Layman Brewster famous for? Can anybody in the chat tell me? Shout out to my man who became the member. Thank you, man. That's my fellow Bison. I reckon Paul Carrick. Much love. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody in the super chat. Like I said, I am cooking today. I'm cooking today, man. I'm going to do it. I feel this is my last show of the week, so I want to do damage. I want to see. It's my last show of the week. I want to do damage. Let him eat cake. That's what Marie. That's Marie. So look up Marie Antoinette. That's the story, you know. But the story was that people were, I'm starving in the streets. I'm starving in the streets. French aristocracy, give us money. We need food. We're peasants. We're hungry. And Mauricio, that's what like the boxing fans are doing to Mauricio. Mauricio, please stop. Please, WBC, please. We just won a champion. I've been a boxing fan 50 years. I have not had I've only had one champion in the last 20 years. Come on, man. We can't be having just one champion every 20 years. Because that's what we get now. We get one champion every 20 years, and he immediately loses the title. That's what boxing does now. And don't tell me if there's only one champion, right? Who is it? It's the undisputed champion of the world. The undisputed champion of the world is the one champion. How many, since the year 2000, we're now in 2020, how many of them have we had? And how many of them have defended? We could have had one last night. We could have had one this weekend. But the WBC didn't want it. Because they created the franchise champion so that they could just randomly tell you who to pick. You're ruining the sport, man. You're ruining it. Okay? You're ruining it in real time. This is not this is not 1960 where you have to go through microfilm to figure out exactly who's talking to who. Okay? We got cell phones, we got YouTube, it's real-time communication. If one person knows something, dude, the information is ubiquitous now. You gotta stop. You're acting like you're living in this is a transparent world, man. It's transparent. You see clear through it. It used to be back in the old days when the people used to get away with this shit and nobody knew any better. It was because they did it in boardrooms or in an office, in a gym or something, or over lunch somewhere, laughing and joking at the country club. It don't happen like that anymore, man. There's probably 10,000, well, not 10, I don't know. There may be 10,000 people that wind up listening to me. Dude, you think 10,000 people read your fucking boxing scene articles? Cover to cover? Fuck no. They come to me to hear what I think about your boxing scene articles. They go to other people. They go to Dante's Boxing Nation for that. Oh, what does Dante think about it? What does Boxing Eagle think about it? Right? And I'm going outside the LDBC just to tell you, what do they think about it? That's who they're going to. They're not reading these articles for these press people that you think are doing something for you. Nobody believes the shit. Nobody, not even you. And even casual people walking by know it. I talk to more casual fans than you do. Man, it's time, man. It's time. Okay? First of all, somebody needs to fucking find out why these guys are just shitting on the Ali Act like that. Like, what is that? Like, see, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard the Patriot Act? Y'all know what the Patriot Act is? This is my sip of water. I'm cooking today. If y'all want a super chat, it's all good. I'm gonna get to him. I'm gonna get to him in a section. Let me pull him up because I'm gonna do that in a second. Thank y'all so much for your support. But y'all gotta stop, man. You guys are thinking, here's another thing. Y'all think you're smart. Okay, and you are. Let me go this way. Every consultant, regardless of how you consult with Top Rank, the WBC or whatever, the guy, you guys that think you're pulling strings and doing it, you guys are smart people. Definitely are. Quite sure you got through your university. Quite sure that you got good grades on your SAT and ACT and all that good stuff. Just because you're smart and you've been able to manipulate, you've been able to get, succeed in these different things in life by doing this type of shit, doesn't mean you're always going to get away with it. Okay? Doesn't mean that you're always going to get away with it. All that shit about, most people get away with crimes all the time. No. Many times people don't press you and they let you get away with that shit. Like the media, right? See, like Dougie Fisher knows this shit. Dougie, you know this. You know this. Okay. Steve Kim, you know this too. All of this stuff that I've said about the sanctioning bodies and the belts, you guys have all said these things. So you all know these things. But don't do nothing about it. Don't do nothing about it. Because you're not in a position to do anything about it. Only boxing fans are in positions to do something about it. Hey, BFTB in the building, man. He said, excellent work week of shows. Yeah, man, make sure y'all go to BFTB over there. Hey, look, dude, make sure you support BFTB. He said those super chats are stressful. Damn, my bad, man. Yeah, that's fucked up. All right. Let me respect the customer, dog. Let me respect the people that pay for the show. Let me not be a hypocrite, because that was me being hypocritical. Okay. I was putting my desire for you people to stop doing stupid shit that everybody can see. Okay. And don't think just because you got people arguing for you that the people arguing for you are convincing anybody. Okay. They're not convincing anybody. Not anybody that doesn't already want to believe. Okay. Anybody else just looking at the scenario is like, man, that's why I don't watch boxing. Shit. Every time I want to watch a championship fight, it ain't no real fucking champion. Because every time I ask somebody who's the best, dude, that's why people don't watch boxing. You bullshit motherfuckers that are running it. Like, that's why it's so hard to read super chats, because my mind just keeps keeping up with it. Just keeps processing your stupidity. I mean, just the ridiculousness of this. Dude, you realize that these boxing writers, promoters, and everybody's like, what's wrong with boxing? What's wrong with boxing? We got to do this to fix boxing. We got to do that to fix boxing. No, you need to replace the leadership. If you all have been in charge of boxing for the last 30 years, 40 years, Bob Arum has been one of the top guys in boxing for the last 50 years. And boxing has gotten steadily worse since the day the dude showed up. But he's in the Hall of Fame. That's what's wrong with boxing. You can't fire nobody, man. You can't fire Bob Arum. You can't fire Eddie Hearn. You can't fire Mauricio Suleiman. You can't even fire these guys. They're just there like royalty. You know what I'm saying? Like royalty or something. Giving us poor, stupid boxing fans whatever it is that they want to give us. All right, man. Super chats, man. Because, yeah, I ain't got many because y'all smart. Y'all ain't give me no. Y'all ain't doing it because y'all know like Fannon. I ain't fucking with Fannon. He don't ever read super chats. Damn. I am so sorry, man. My man, daily support was good, said my man Terrence Chavis, man. Do not ever block Terrence Chavis. Lawrence RBE, man, always happy to see my man Lawrence RBE. Said, watch a documentary on Floyd and press how he transitioned from Pretty Boy to Money May. I find it funny. Loma wants a rematch. Should have had it in the contract. Dude, look, man. Lomachenko wasn't getting no rematch because Bob Arum didn't give him no rematch. He can't put no shit in the contract. Bob don't give a shit about a contract. Bob don't care about a contract. He understands that the contract is just part of the process. Okay? People always say that to me, man. They're like, well, you could sue. Yeah, you got to win, though. And you got to have the resources to win. He's got a lot of resources. He's worth $300 million. He and whoever his partners are can spend years in court. Can you? That's why they don't care about a contract. For the people that I negotiate deals with, when we negotiate deals with say like Northrop Grumman, there's like some things I'll be like, okay, that, let's see if they will give in on this. And surprising amount of time on certain things they will give in on, like trying to charge me, trying to make me name them on an insurance contract for them while they have an indemnification policy with me. Like, what? Dog, they be trying that, man. I'll explain that to you later. But if people that know, dog, I'll be seeing some shit, dude. But these cats, they're so big, you can't say nothing, right? Because I'm like, look, dude, if something goes wrong and I have an employee there and you did it, but somebody sues me, you have to hold me harmless, right? You have to come in and pay my bills, right? If they sue me, I get hit with it, but it's really your fault, right? Okay. So a big guy will say, yeah, okay, that's fine. But I need you to do something for me. I need you to name me as an co-insured on your insurance policy. He'd be like, what? Why? Oh, so if I have to indemnify you, I'm just going to go to your insurance company. So it completely neutralizes the entire indemnification clause because you're taking out insurance that they will cash in on to pay for it if they're responsible. See that? Just a very tricky thing, right? But they're giving you millions of dollars worth of business and you ain't got millions of dollars. So what you going to do? Pass up on the money? No, you're going to move on and hope that you don't get in no trouble and the money is worth it. Bobby Arum understands that, dog. It's deep pockets. It's deep pockets, and it's for real. And it's a matter of leverage too. And that's why I don't trust none of that shit, because they can have leverage in all kind of different areas. Anyway, snacks. Let me get back. Sorry, man. If I was a little too, nerdy with that, please forgive me, man. And Frank, you're my fucking subscriber of the year. Frank the Trucker. You're my dude, man. Just want to let you know, dude, you're my dude. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody. But when you joined the channel, dog, you started supporting heavy, man. Thank you. Stick Talk Boxing said they only put Bud number 1 because he has a fight in November that Top Rank wants to sell. If I were Crawford, I'd tweet, don't do me no favors. Yo, yeah, man. No, Terrence is going to take it and he's going to keep getting his paychecks. But it's not real. It's just not real, man. I mean, for real, dude, I feel like Mauricio Suleiman just stripped every fighter of their championship. Really. I mean, because that's how my mind works. Like, I think, what is the ramifications of this guy's rule? Like, some people just make rules, right? Like, we're just going to make a rule because I like how it sounds. And it fixed this problem that I have right now. But okay, it fixed your problem that you have right now. Now you have Canelo Alvarez not having to fight Jamal Charlo. You got it. However, now what you've done is created another belt. So now you can't have undisputed. So while you solved your problem, you created more. Okay. And that by definition is stupidity. Okay. If you solve your problem in a manner that causes you more problems, that was a bad solution. You might as well have kept your original problem versus making it worse. And the franchise belt made the problem worse. Now, what was the problem that it made worse? The lack of respect people have for your belt. And that is a real problem. It's not ordained by God, even though you were born into it. It's not a birthright. The shit can go out of business. Okay? It's a business. You can go out of business. You don't feel like you're at risk of going out of business. But man, y'all didn't think Corona was going to hit this year. Did you? Did you? You don't know what's going on tomorrow, dog. Image Tattoos, much love in that super chat. Isaiah Jones, much love in that super chat. Jupiter B in that super chat said, we must stop acknowledging ESPN ring pound for pound list. Yeah, except for when it is time to absolutely positively roast them. Because here's the thing, man. Jupiter B, I appreciate what you're saying about not acknowledging them, but we can't ignore them. See, not acknowledging them is ignoring them. And ignoring the problem is not going to make it go away. It's just going to exacerbate it, you Uncle Toms. right? Not Uncle Tom's to anybody in particular, but I'm just saying that's one of the problems with Uncle Tom's. Because they are trying to appeal, they're always trying to fix their current problem. This guy, I need them to like me. I got to say these things so that they'll be my friends because I want to feel secure. Because I don't want, because all this racism stuff, it hurts me. It hurts me. I'm just going to close my eyes and act like it doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the shit just changed forms and continues to get you. And that's just a fact. We have been ignoring these media clowns doing this dumb shit for too long. When I started doing YouTube videos, dude, people would get on me about why are you going after media members? Like, why Fannon go after me? Dog, I went after you for what you said. What you mean, why did I go after you? I went after you because of what you said. You're a figure in boxing. Like everybody else. You don't think people, you're a personality. You're selling yourself as a personality. You're selling yourself as an expert. Not as a journalist, but as an expert. You're telling me who the best fighters in the world are. Once you start doing that and holding yourself up as a boxing expert and not just a journalist and an intermediate between me that's going to help me, give me relevant facts and figures that I might not otherwise know. Once you leave that and go into the area of being an expert and then trying to convince the public to do this or convince the public to do that, no, then you're ripe for ridicule. Because you're not independent, you're part of the system. And it's obvious you are. But that's why I think we need to acknowledge them every day. Every dumbass fucking thing they do to the sport of boxing, they need to be drugged. Because that's the only thing that's going to stop them, is what other people think. They are getting called to task. Paulie Malignaggi got fired. And the journalists were all up in a fucking tizzy because Steven Espinoza held one of them accountable. That was a big boom. Held that man accountable. The only reason Steven Espinoza, I'm not going to say the only reason, but hey, man, I can't say that causation doesn't exist. I can't say for sure that we're the but-for cause of his termination, but we did call for it and it did happen. So no, we need to do more of it. Dan Rafael is not with ESPN, and I'm not going to say that it's because we pointed out that Eddie Hearn said that he fronted his hotel and that he was going to do more of that, and that is clearly a violation of ethics. Because you shouldn't be taking any cash payment in advance or repayment. No fiduciary relationship should exist between the media and the subject of their coverage. And he violated that. And everybody found out about it. And his contract didn't get renewed. Believe it or not, there are real businessmen in the world that do not know that all of this stupidity is going on. There are really people out there in ESPN that are the upper ranks of ESPN, CBS that only see boxing on a spreadsheet. They see the numbers and then they allocate the budget. That's all they care for. However, when they put their ear to the ground, or they do an SEO, or they just do some type of search, and then try to understand what the public opinion is of their product, and they hear word like duck, lie, con, cheated. When they start seeing all that shit, they might be like, "Hold on, what the fuck is this? What's this? Why are they saying these people are not champions? Why are we paying for championship fights that aren't championship fights? I thought this was a championship." You see that? Because once you say it, people can hear it. And that's especially why they don't like me. I know you don't like me because of that. You wanted to think that the LDBC just a bunch of dumb niggas, which we ain't never been, ain't close to being. We love boxing, and we think about it actively and thoroughly. We have historians. We have people that do the day-to-day stuff. We have people that are very much into the rules and the ranking systems. We have probably the deepest wealth of boxing knowledge that you can find, because there's thousands of us and we are very passionate. That's why why so many people come to Fannon's channel? He's so emotional. Dog, because I care. Because we care. John Dre, damn, all he said was ask a question, chill, but now you so quick to say you're not top 10, huh? I don't know what that is. Curtis Anderson, was that yesterday? Oh, that was yesterday. I'm reading shit from yesterday. I'm super happy that I did, though. Jupiter B said, for the trolls. Hated or love it said, money, greed screws up everything, and all this is about is money and why boxing is like this. You're right. And Frank Valentine, Matthew Valentine, man, my dude. That's another dude, man. That's my guy, man. Been around from the beginning. Says, Fannon, salute. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys' support. Let me hit this refresh button, make sure I didn't miss, because I know y'all, man, I appreciate it. But I knew I was going to have to make an investment today. Just CMS J Dog said, salute OG, stay on their neck, man. Firmly on that neck. Mr. T King Texas said, all about helping the channel grow 100%, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you following me on Instagram. I appreciate you guys following me on Twitter. Thank you guys that support, man. As channel members, we really, really, really going to up the levels, man. Okay, we're going to up the levels because this is good stuff, man. I mean, this boxing conversation that we have going on in the LDBC is beautiful, man. It's like now our thoughts are the conversation versus being what people used to think it was. Like, remember when like Michelle Jordan, who said this? I think it was Radio Raheem was like, he said, man, you guys you're downstream of us. Bro, we were never downstream of you. We ain't in the stream. Okay? You're trying to convince us. And that's what you guys don't get. You are all trying to convince us. It's not the other way around. And that's the attitude. It's been the attitude of the channel. I don't care what you think. I care what I think. Because as my personal, demographic, me personally, dude, there's no more valuable boxing fan than me. I promise you. If there were 50 million boxing fans like me, every boxer out there would be worth a shitload of money, dog. Okay? Please believe me. Anyway, we are the perfect boxing fans because we are going to talk about it no matter what it is. Because the NBA sucks. You also have a really good chance to get better because the NBA sucks right now. You could get a lot of black boxing fans over if you would focus on black boxers. Like, you don't even get that the NBA is losing popularity. It's not what it used to be. You can get their crowd if you were smart about it. How about you go for the NBA's crowd and stop going for the UFC's crowd? Right? They're like, we need to find the UFC's crowd. We need the UFC's crowd. No, you don't. You need the NBA's crowd. That's what you need. You need the NBA. You need every boxer's every top boxer's name in Lil Baby's mouth is what you need. You don't need the UFC. Fuck the UFC. You think, no, not fuck the UFC like fuck the people in the UFC. You think the NBA cares about the UFC? Dude, the UFC has nothing on boxing. Nothing. Damian Lillard fucking rocks with Damian Lillard ain't out there talking about the UFC. Dude, everybody in the NBA watches boxing, man. I guarantee you. Boxing is a staple in Black America. It's a staple. Everybody fucks with boxing to a certain extent. And when the big fight comes on, everybody wants, what's the big fight? But we just want to know what the big fight is. But you keep making all our fights small. Oh, that fight's just small. Oh, that fight's small. Oh, Jamal Charlo, he's small. Jamel Charlo, he's small. That guy's small. And the casual black boxing fan can't distinguish between the two. So every time you invest in writers like Steve Kim, and that's the motherfucker I'm going to name, okay? Because he's the one I think is just trash. Like, his attitude is trash. So, every time you focus on him, you lose one of us. ESPN, that's what you're doing. Okay? Every time you rock with a Steve Kim, you just guarantee yourself that vast majorities of black people are not going to want to listen to you. Because the word's been on the street that people thought he was a racist years ago. Thought. Not actually know. Thought. Okay, I'm not accusing him. I'm suspecting. Come on, man. That's the money. That's why Floyd got the money. Because everybody was like, you watching the Floyd fight? Hey, you remember this song? They ring my phone when I'm not home. Can't even watch the game or the Sugar Ray fight. You remember that? Can't even watch the game or the Sugar Ray fight. You ever heard that? Couldn't even watch the game, but even somebody can do it better than me. I haven't heard it in years, but couldn't. Bill collectors, they ring my phone, they call my wife when I'm not home, something. And I can't watch the game or the Sugar Ray fight. Guess who that is? Dude, that was one of the pioneers of fucking rap. And what is he kicking? Sugar Ray fight. The Sugar Ray fight. See, you don't want to have black people have that. I'm going to the Gervonta Davis fight. Going to the Ali fight. Y'all don't want that. Y'all want to go into this. I'm going to the Victor Lakayev fight. Fuck? Who was Victor Kaliev? Melly Mel, thank you. Grandmaster Flash, thank you. It's just a terrible situation, dog. It's just a terrible situation. But now I'm going to switch topics slightly. Okay, if you don't mind. Because that wasn't on the menu. I just found that out as I walked in the door. I want to talk about Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury, if you don't mind today. Give me a couple questions at the end. I'll ask a couple questions before I move to the rest, and then let me get back to this. And I'm going to read some of these super chats. And then I'm going to change subjects, and we're going to talk about, we got Keith Thurman to still cover, and we've still got Keith Thurman talking crap to still cover, and we got some Gervonta Davis, and then we got Deontay Wilder's contract. And I got to talk about that, man, because, dog, I'm so sick of Bobby Aaron, man. This dude just needs to go. Like, it just needs to go, man. It's just time. Like, it's time. Dude, he's alive today, dude, but he is in the 40s, man. And these guys just have no ethics. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk, said, another think is this sanctioning bodies don't listen to the fans when making decisions, i.e. belts, franchises, mandatories. Nah, man, because they think they're behind the scenes and they're just like stealing from behind the scenes. They just kind of like in the front row and you don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, man. It is what it is. That's my thought on the sanctioning bodies. I just think they should be paid flat fees. And I don't care how it gets done. They should be paid flat. I wouldn't pay those dudes on no percentage basis. But, look, when you get paid on a percentage basis, that motivates you to raise the price. When you get paid on a fixed fee, you can focus on quality. Because you're like, this is what I'm giving you. And if it's acceptable, right, then I will pay you for that. Right? That's like a fixed fee. So as long as you get me the fight, I'm going to pay you for getting me the fight and sanctioning the fight. Why is it any more expensive for the WBC to put on a Canelo Alvarez fight than it is to put on any other fight? Are they the promoter? Are they negotiating the sanctioning fee? I mean, seriously, are they sanctioning it from the state point of view? No. They're not the commissioner, right? Are they the venue? No. They're not part of the venue. They're not the promoter, because the promoter's selling it. So what? You want them to get paid on a percentage so that because it's in their interest to make it more. But the commission, whose job it is for fighter safety and like quality assurance, because that's really what the WBC is supposed to do. They're supposed to be quality assurance for us. They're supposed to be telling us, yes, this is a quality fight. We sanction it. Here's the WBC stamp. Kind of like organic, like you go to the store and you're like, hey, is this good milk? Oh, it says organic. It's good milk. You know what I mean? Dude, the person that puts organic on the milk got paid a flat fee, okay? period. And they got paid for reviewing the product and certifying it. They do not get a percentage cut of all the sales. Okay? And you realize the Top Rank, the WBC literally put Top Rank's logo on their belt? It's done now. That's a conflict of interest. How can the WBC have one promoter's name on a belt? It has to be a replica belt. And if it's a replica, it's not real. So if it's not real, what the fuck is it doing in the ring? Because I'm paying for it, right? I paid for a WBC championship. Dog, you guys just do terrible business, man. Like, and here's the thing. People are like, you just don't understand the business of boxing. You just don't understand the business of boxing. No, I understand business. Okay, I understand business. Business is business. It's what it is. Business is business. Doesn't matter if you're selling boxers, if you're selling widgets. When you go to business school, they say widgets. To my people that have been to business school, you've seen this. It says Harry bought X amount of widgets. First time I read that, I was like, what the fuck is a widget? Like, widget? It's a widget. Why the fuck is everybody buying and selling widgets? It was confusing the hell out of me. So ashamed, man, but that's the truth. I was young. I was like, what the fuck is a widget? Oh, a widget is just that, man. A widget is just anything. All right, this could be a widget. You make glasses. If you make this is a widget. If you make this is a widget. If you make these, this is a widget. Whatever, it's a widget. It's just whatever it is, gadget. Whatever gadget. I think maybe that might even be what it means. Whatever it is, gadget. A widget. Okay? Business is business. Okay? Conflict of interests are conflict of interests. Okay? You don't need specialized. It's not a specialized business. It's a specific product. It's a service-based business. Okay? It's a service-based business where you make contracts based on events and you have like these limited partnerships. That's what you have. You have like a limited partnership. This guy, and this guy come together, right? And they come together for this specific event and they're going to agree to terms for the specific event. And you've got the network, you've got this guy, you got to get this guy, but it's still business. It's the same thing if you were going to negotiate a podcast agreement. You still have the same thing. You still have your deals that you got to negotiate with if you're a podcaster, right? Well, you got to have a contract with whoever's going to distribute your podcast. You have to have a contract, whoever it is that is going to do your trademark, right? You have to have a contract with your creative talent. You got to have a contract and release rights to use the music that you want to have. You got to do all of these different things. Dog, but if you're out there stealing from one guy over here, right? This is his trademark, but he ain't got enough money to defend it in court. So I'm just going to steal his trademark. You don't think people do that? That's why I shout out to Mr. Linton, Michael Linton, and I can't see the screen, but I remembered him. You remember your name specifically because you corrected me. You're like, man, people do this shit in business all the time. And I had to stop and think, yeah, you're right. All of this shit is just regular business. It is. It is. But I was like, I get so wrapped up in boxing because I care about boxing that it's like, it's not like a normal situation where I'd be like, okay, what is it, right? This boxing is the organization as I can see it. If I laid it out on like a chart, right, and mapped it, dude, it's just a bunch of middlemen siphoning off a lot of fucking money before it hits the boxer. So what it looks like to me, looks like my money comes in here, siphon off, hits the fighter. But in the actual relationships, it is the fight, right? Then it is the fighter's manager, fighter manager. The fighter and the manager have to have a contract between the fighter and the manager and the promoter, and then the promoters have to have one with the network, right? And then the network might have to have one with the pay-per-view distribution and the local cable channels, all of that type of stuff comes into play. So it is business. So I can tell you without a doubt that these dudes are just fucking crooks. And ain't nothing special about the sport. Nothing extra complicated about the nature of the agreements or the intentions of the parties. It's a regular business with a lot of crooks and very weak legislation around it that allow people to take advantage of people. That's it. Even the state of Nevada, where the state of Nevada has the Nevada State Athletic Commission go from being paid off the budget to being self-funding. When you make the sanction, when you make a state commission self-funding, it's kind of like the WBC. They're self-funding. So what do they got to do? They got to go find revenue. They get paid off making big fights. And when you have to pay your bills based on it, you can start giving up a lot of shit, doing a lot of different stuff so you can keep your job. This is just business. And these guys are just crooks. And the simple part of it is they're just getting me for my $1,200. Trying to sell me something that's a championship fight that's not really a championship fight. And all these people telling me that it's business. Oh, it's the business of boxing. You have to understand how the business is done in boxing. No, I don't. You have to understand how business is boxing. You mad for people for trying to run up a bag? Yeah, I am. Yeah, idiot. I am. If you try to run up a bag on me, yes, I'm mad. Why wouldn't I? What kind of cuckold ass dude are you? You like people to run game on you? Shit. Hit me in the super chat, dummy. Hey, since you don't mad at people for trying to run up the bag, nigga, hit me with a $200 super chat right now. And I promise you, tomorrow, I'll hit you back with a $400 wire transfer. Let's do business. Or how about this? You pay me in advance for a product. And then I say, nah, I need more money. Oh, I don't want to pay any more money. Well, give me my product back. Nah, I'm going to keep it. Your time expired. Your time expired. Oh, yes, by the letter of the law, I could say I don't have to take this return. However, you're a piece of shit and I'm never going to do business with you again. You like that money on Mook? You some type of gimp ass dude or something? I ain't never met somebody that wanted to be taken advantage of and would laugh at me for not wanting to be taken advantage of. Do you see how these people come to this chat with these crazy things that they say? See, this is a plant right here. Because he put a laugh emoji on it, he thought that shit was going to make sense to somebody. You mad at people for trying to run up a bag? Yeah, I am. You caught me. Okay? You caught me. If I go to the store and I buy some milk, I don't want to pay $50 because I'm black. Okay? I would be mad. See, that would be an example of them running up the price on me, right? Because they would say, hey, here comes this here Negro. I know you people, I'm saying Negro because I know a lot of y'all don't like when I talk about black people. It bothers you. It bothers you. I understand it bothers you. However, if somebody say, hey, come on in here, Fannon. Oh, that's Fannon. Oh, I just saw Fannon get a $100 super chat. Oh, I ain't charging you $3 for this. I'm charging you $6. Because I know you need the milk to get back to that show, and I know you got $100 in your pocket. You be super chatting $100. I know you got this extra money. Yeah, I'd be mad, dog. I'd be mad about that. As somebody trying to convince boxing fans that they shouldn't be mad about that, you're full of shit and you're phony. But that's what they do because, they have to here. Now they have to because you're going to hear the truth here, man. And I didn't tell you my opinion. Most of this shit is just not even opinion. Most of it ain't even opinion. What is Super Saiyan, dog? What is Super Saiyan before I throw you out? What's Super Saiyan? I don't know what that is. Do I need to throw you out for that? I'll assume that. What the fuck is Super Saiyan? I need to know if I did throw you out. Fuck is Super Saiyan. You ain't doing that shit to me. I need to know what you said. Super Saiyan. Oh, here you go. Super Saiyan. What the fuck is a Super Saiyan? Dragon Ball Z. Oh, okay. Throws down the gauntlet. All right, I did that shit. I'll take that. Thank you. It's a good thing. I need to know, dog. Don't be calling me them names, dog. I liked how it sounded, though. That's why I backed out. That's why I backed off. Thank you, Bumpy Thompson. Said it's a good thing. Thank you, man. I don't be knowing. You know I'm old. You know I'm old. You know I'm grumpy. I went to my Instagram yesterday and I was like, damn, all I do is be complaining about shit. I got to find something to be happy about. So I was going to do my Instagram and I was like thinking, damn, what positive can I say about boxing? I was like, ooh, I'm going to tell people that I just bought my ticket. That's what I was going to do. I was like, I am going to tell people that I bought my ticket to the Gervonta Davis fight. I'm excited that I get to see Gervonta Davis fight Leo Santa Cruz. I was excited, and I am. I'm excited. Quiet as kept. I be hating on Leo Santa Cruz, but I'm going to be very honored to see that guy fight. Okay? Call me a hypocrite if you want. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be happy to see Leo Santa Cruz fight. I am a fan of boxing. I like these guys. I just want him to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. You know, Leo Santa Cruz ain't really a bad guy. Like, it's like him and Jose Ramirez. It's almost impossible to dislike them because they're just so damn nice. You know what I mean? Like Mikey Garcia, Mikey Garcia is easy to dislike. Adrian Brown is real easy to dislike. But but Leo Santa Cruz is like, you're such a duck artist, but you're such a nice duck artist. Like, you're such a friendly duck. You know what I mean? Now, anyway, let's get on to this other thing, man. Porter can't punch. Didn't what? Didn't pronounce it right, cuz. I didn't try to pronounce it right, cuz. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I can't pronounce shit right there if I ain't never heard it before. I'm not Japanese. What's good, Reggie Reg? What's going on, Reggie Reg? Well, my son would know. My son likes anime, man. They were watching a lot of that stuff last night, man. So, man, make sure you go to BFTBs today. Because I asked BFTB to do me I'm putting BFTB on the spot. Because there's only one man that I know. Well, there's actually two. But again, there's two guys that I know that are up for the task that actually love the ranking systems enough, right? But I was like, man, it would be really interesting to know exactly the exact moves that the WBC has been making in their rankings. Because I've never seen anybody do it. Like, I've never seen anybody take a week-by-week ranking and chart it. You know what I mean? Like, where this guy moved to, what happened, right? Because you can do a postmortem on all of their rankings. Now, if you're going to go hide your rankings, go hide them right now. Unpublish your rankings. Because I was like, BFTB, please break down the rankings. Tell me how each person, specifically, not as an opinion, but specifically, how people, the current champions, got to the championship fight. And I know he's been doing it, but I need to hear it in a way that it is just so crisp and clear that nobody will doubt that those ranking systems are completely manufactured. And I bet you could go from what the rankings are, what rankings moved. I bet you can connect them to signings. Like, when this guy signed to this promoter, what happened to his rating? And then make arguments about how rankings have been manipulated. And the reason why I say that would be a great task for people that are really detail-oriented and really like that is because Austin Trout sued the WBO. And he sued the WBO because the WBO removed him from their rankings in a manner that allowed Liam Walsh to wind up fighting Canelo. He was ranked high and he was an available opponent, but then all of a sudden he just completely dropped out of the ranking system. Completely dropped out. And then afterwards, jumped back in. I'm telling you, that analysis in video format would cripple that ranking system. It'll cripple that ranking system. Because now you put transparency into the ranking system. You don't care about the rules because you can figure what the rules are based on the outcome. See, a lot of people think you write the rule and then people live by the rule. What I usually think is, practically speaking, because there are things that are called de facto rules, right? Well, de facto, they're not officially recognized as such, but they're there. For example, there is nowhere written on the ESPN's list that an ESPN fighter needs to be on that list, but it happens every time, and it just stays the same every time. So I'm looking at their rules, and I'm like, dude, I don't have to read what your rules and regulations are in your back office. All I need to know is what your decisions are. See, if you keep telling me if I know all your decisions and I know all the scenarios related to your decisions, then I can tell you what your rules are, what your real rules are, not what your written rules are. For example, the WBO probably doesn't have it written down, but they don't have PBC fighters. That is an unwritten rule. And the reason I would say that is because it's consistent. There's no other rational explanation for there not being any when there's that many good PBC fighters. Right? And then ESP, you do the same thing. That's how you understand what people's real rules are. Not by reading their rules, because that's bullshit. They can put anything in a piece of paper, and then you'll just be all day looking around. So, for example, the WBC rule book, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time to read it. A complete waste of time to read it because of the first section. It's called, go check it out. There's a section in the WBC rules that says interpretation. Read that rule, and you will know, once you read that rule, that nothing else in that entire document means anything. Because the interpretation of every rule is up to Mauricio Sulaiman and people that he appoints. The interpretation rule made Mauricio Sulaiman a god in the WBC. He can do whatever he wants as long as it's in the best interest of boxing. Well, who decides what's in the best interest of boxing? Mauricio Sulaiman does. And that's in their rules. So it doesn't matter whether they say, say that the mandatory has to happen every year. No, it doesn't. Because Mauricio Sulaiman can interpret that rule based on the best interest of boxing and mean that only applies in certain circumstances and doesn't apply in others. Because that interpretation is in the best interest of boxing. That rule book is completely worthless. And I challenge you, go read it. Because everybody be like, it says this over here. It says this over there. It says this over there. I don't give a shit about all that. It says interpretation. You can kill a 30-page agreement with one sentence. With one sentence. Regardless of anything stated to the contrary, Fannon can terminate this contract at no cost, no penalty at any given time. If you put that in agreement, I don't give a fuck what it says in the rest of it. I'm out whenever I want to be out, right there. Which is why you have headings clauses that says these headings do not necessarily add to the definition of the clause, right? So it might say termination, but it ain't really a termination. Dog, I'm due for real. Dog, if we were in the same line of work, dog, we could really have some fun talking. And I know there's cats out there that work in this area, know just what the fuck I'm talking about. Which is why there was this one time, dog, this I ain't even gonna get into it, dog. But for real, man, come on, it's just business. That, Shelly Finkel ain't even really like, Shelly Finkel probably owns a company like a music company or something. It's probably like a side job for him or some shit. Most of these manager shits, it's like a side investment. But anyway. Did y'all understand what I was saying? What I was trying to told you? Hey, Michael Johnson said WBC don't even have real definitions for franchise champion. It's 3 sentences. Of course not. Of course. Because ambiguity is good. I love short agreements. If I'm the one with the power, that shit would be 1 sentence. Do what the fuck I say to do. For this amount, at this date, goodbye. I'm lying. It'd be a lot more shit than that. But it could be simple. You know what I mean? Facts, Fannon. Anytime a governing body allows for authoritative interpretation within ranks, any scripted rules or bylaws can easily become legally invalid. Anytime the governing body allows for authoritative interpretation within ranks, any scripted rules or bylaws can easily become legally invalid. Yeah, exactly. You can kick that shit to the fucking curb. Boop. Because I said so. That clause means this. Because I said so. Mauricio, I tell you, go look at it. The WBC has a clause that I would call the because I said so clause. It's called interpretation. Because I said so. Why could it be wrong? Because I said though. Because I said so. What did he say? He said, man, what did he say? Said ambiguity supports the boxing business, but not organic boxing. Exactly. I appreciate you. Yes, sir. There are people in here that know what I'm talking about. Fannon, an asshole for that contract. Do what I say do for X amount. Man, I wish I could. That man, please do what I say. Slave. Shit, that's a contract. Because this is what a contract is. Okay, very basic, simple thing. Okay, very high level. All right, for information purposes, not consultation. This is what a contract is. It's an agreement between 2 or more people, right? Contract between an agreement between 2 or more people that possess the following things. There's an offer. That offer is accepted, and that there is a consideration in exchange for the offer and for the acceptance, right? And then there have to be damages, right? Because you can have a contract, but hey, man, if you don't have a theory of damages, if you've not lost anything, they're not going to ask you to pay for it because you ain't lost anything. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, the contract says X, Y, Z, right? The man died 2 seconds after he signed it. What were your damages? Please explain this to me. Yes, you said he violated. Okay, great. He breached the agreement. Now, what do you want me to do about it? Well, I need you to do X, Y, Z. I can't do it. Nah. So you got to go through that whole theory of damages outside after you get through the establishment of the contract. It's whether or not they're going to actually be willing to do anything. You can have and you know what people will do? They'll also find an agreement where there wasn't one when it is in the public interest. Did you know that? Did you know that? There's something called promissory estoppel. And promissory estoppel is when this is why I'm saying these people acting like this shit's so cut and dry. To me, it's like, nah, dog. This shit don't seem that cut and dry to me. Right? Firstly, because I don't see the contract. I haven't seen the contract. But dude, nah, man, promissory estoppel says, look, man, when you guys did not intend for this to be the case, but it's in the public interest, that we treat this as if this is an enforceable agreement, even when one was not intended if it's in the public interest. See, because there are theories of contracting. Like, why do we think we should enter into contracts? What's the whole purpose of it? Right? The whole purpose of and it could depend on different people, right? But different people have different theories about why there is a contract, right? But one of them that I adhere to is that people keep their promises. And if it's in the public interest to make sure you keep your promise, even though by the letter of the law, you could have got out of it, courts will find that there was an existing contract because it was in the public interest that there is one. Because the only reason you care about there being a contract at all, and the only reason that the state would get involved in it, is because there's a public interest in it. Which is a matter of what? Ethics. Is it in the public's interest to allow you to fuck this dude over just because the contract says so? No. So, with this overriding public interest, we're not going to let you do that. Okay? You are not going to fuck over a 35-year-old man over some technicality in the middle of a pandemic. No, it's not in the public interest to allow. Even though, yes, according to the plain meaning rule, it might not be in the public's interest to allow him to skate out of that. Because we're in the middle of a pandemic. And if you let him out of his contract for that reason, then everybody's going to say that they get out of their agreements because of this. And it is because of it. Because but for the coronavirus, Deontay Wilder and them would have fought in May. The only reason he didn't have the fight earlier is because of Corona. So for you guys to say that Corona didn't exist at all and they didn't read the contract, dude, they couldn't have anticipated the whole boxing world being shut down. Why would that be in the public interest to allow that to happen? It's not. So the reason that now I don't know if any of that is true, right? I don't know. This is me just looking from a public policy standpoint. But let's look at it from a boxing policy standpoint. Why would you as a boxing fan support Tyson Fury as champion if he will not keep his promise in the first fight? And he's with Mauricio Suleiman, who doesn't believe that there's champions at all? Ambiguity supports the boxing business, but not organic boxing. Ambiguity supports people. Ambiguity works to the benefit of, can work in the benefit of either party. Really. It could work in either party. I mean, I don't like the interpretation. I don't dislike the interpretation rule, like necessarily, but in the hands of somebody responsible, but not in the hands of him. Dude, this is the worst. This guy has got to be the worst executive in all of boxing. And I don't think that there's a close second to Mauricio Suleiman. He's the worst executive in all of boxing. Can anybody name somebody worse? Peter King, maybe. Him and Peter King are the two worst boxing executives that I have personally ever paid attention to. And Oscar De La Hoya, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't overlook Oscar De La Hoya giving away 200 fighters because he didn't know that they didn't have, because he thought they had exclusive promotional contracts. But they had exclusive managerial contracts. What the fuck? No, that's a monstrously bad businessman over there. I don't know. Is it Oscar De La Hoya? Is it Oscar De La Hoya, Mauricio Suleiman, or Peter King? Oscar De La Hoya gave up half of the fucking boxing world in one fell swoop. He lost more talent in one fell swoop than anybody in boxing history, anybody in sports history. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to make anything tragic, but short of a entire franchise like disappearing because like a boat went down or something, that would be the only way that I could foresee somebody losing as much talent at the same time as Oscar De La Hoya lost. He lost Deontay Wilder, dude. He lost Deontay Wilder. He lost Keith Thurman. He lost Sean Porter. He lost Danny Garcia. He lost Adrian Bronner. He lost, man. This dude lost he lost damn near a whole Hall of Fame. He lost Jermell Charlo. He lost Jamal Charlo. Like, God, dog, man. It was like, could you just imagine? It was like his bank account had like $10 million in it. And he's sitting there in the morning. He's like, what the fuck happened to all my money? They walked out the door with it, dummy. That's what happened. You can't tell me for nothing that Al Heyman ain't ruthless. Okay? You can't tell me that them boys ain't ruthless over there because they did it dirty. Did them dirty. And if I was, if I was Golden Boy, I would never put nobody in the PBC on that list neither. I'd be like, I don't give a damn. I'd be like Oscar De La Hoya calling Dougie Fisher. Look, man, I don't give a damn, okay? I don't give a damn if Gary Russell Jr. knocks out Mike Tyson. That motherfucker's not getting on my goddamn pound-for-pound list. Hang up. I don't care. He ain't going on there. You know that's what Oscar say. Dougie, I dare you to put two of them niggas up on there. Throw your ass up out of here so fast you don't know what the fuck to do. Don't you know they stole all my money? Dog, that was highway robbery, dude. Like, that was highway robbery. Like, legendary highway robbery. That's one of the biggest heists. Oh, that was a heist. Like, I can't even believe for a second that I was going to put. No, Mauricio Sulaiman is not as bad as Oscar De La Hoya. Ooh, Al, man, God, that was impressive, Al. God, that was impressive. Like, I could imagine what these niggas was doing in the room when they was doing it. Like, they was just writing deals, and they were like, here. Their eyes look like this. Sign this. Hey, bro, you want to hang out, dog? Got some blow? I'm saying I got some blow. I got some hoes. Want to hang out? Yeah. Yeah, let's hang out. Yeah, here, sign this. He lost everything, God. Dog, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Dude, I think Oscar De La Hoya might have lost $1 billion, dog. Like, if you look at all the revenue generated on PBC fighters that used to be with Golden Boy, wow, they lost a lot of money. Yeah, I can imagine them not fucking with Al Heyman over that. I'd still be salty too. Because they had it on lock. But they got cute and lost it. I told you, WBC, remember how Golden Boy was? And then all of a sudden, somebody put that sneak move on him, and they wasn't like that no more. He went from the number. Dude, he was killing Top Rank. Golden Boy was killing Top Rank. And no more. Now it's PBC killing Top Rank, but without the media. Because don't get it twisted. The PBC is killing them. Killing them. Not even close. You can the manufacturer thing is out. Okay. None of that stuff's flying no more. What's with the fake ego? First of all, Dante's Boxing Nation, I doubt very much would ever come to my channel saying anything funny. Okay, I've met Dante's Boxing Nation. I've never met Dante's Boxing Nation, excuse me. Boxing Ego is he's a very, very nice guy. I've never seen him start stuff with anybody. So if somebody had said he came to this chat, that is not Boxing Ego. There's not a chance. Boxing Ego is out there he's out there working. I guarantee you. All right. He's editing the video. He's reading something in the news. He's doing something productive other than coming over here starting shit with me. Okay. Because why would he do that? He's a nice guy, man. Met him, think very, very highly of him. Wish nothing but success for the guy. Please don't tarnish the guy's name by doing duplicates and running around and saying a bunch of stuff in his name. Because don't nobody believe that he would do that. Thank you very much. Just like if you would see a Fannon in his chat, there is no chance that I would be up in there saying something crazy about Boxing Ego. And shout out to New Media. You guys are killing it out in them streets. That work is incredible. Incredible. I have to say. With the work the people have been putting in over the last couple weeks, some of the best that I've seen. You guys got to check out BFTB's videos. I've finally gotten BFTB, begging BFTB to do short form videos. He did a couple short form videos. Hopefully I can convince him to make more short form videos. But dude, people are out there doing good things, man. He even got 78 Sports TV doing boxing videos again. I'm waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning, hit boom, 78, got a boxing video. That's what's up. Make sure you guys support these guys, man. Oh, he has a verified check. Oh, yeah, because it's over 100,000. So we get it verified. He said, I don't know. I'll take your word. Take my word for it, dog. Okay? Take my word for it. Take my word for it, dude. My man is not thinking about me. That man is working. That's one of the hard. And I'm going to tell you, man, like people ask me about the channel. Dude, Boxing Ego is a fucking inspiration to me at a point. Because I see how he works. See how he works. That is a work ethic, dude, that you got to respect. You know what I mean? No, not cute, no funny business. Hard-working dude, man, and I appreciate that, man. You know? All of you, I appreciate it. I try not to say your names anymore, but dog, let's fucking not fake like people don't know each other. That's just phony. You know what I mean? And I ain't really into the phony anymore. Trying to do away with all phoniness on YouTube and try to be as absolutely just authentic as I can. I think Bob Arum needs to get the fuck out the sport of boxing. And I'm not going to say it any other way, dude, but the guy's got to go. Bob Arum is he's a plague on the sport of boxing at this point. He needs to go. And I hope whoever replaces him at Top Rank, I hope you guys get over this not fighting black fighters, not featuring black fighters, and this love you have for everything not black fighters. I hope you guys get over that, because if you do, you guys could have one of the great, definitely could just go to incredible levels, dude, at Top Rank. It's right there. You guys have such a great brand, such a well-known name. But you guys are fucking up on entirely different levels, because it doesn't have to be this way, man. It doesn't have to be this way. Why can't you just make money and convince ESPN that American fighters are good and worth watching? This idea that that Americans only have 2 of the top 10 fighters in the world, and that somehow that boxing talent is equally distributed throughout the world. Because I looked at that, and I'm going to end on this. I looked at the pound for pound list again, and I didn't look at it just from the promoter side, right? I was like, okay, I can tell but I was like, where are the people from? Where are they from? Russia, Ukraine, Japan, Mexico, the United States. That's 5. Great Britain. I think that's like 6, right? So of 10 different people. In the Philippines. Because of Manny Pacquiao, right? So do you think that list is fucking terrible, Petty Killmonger? Fuck out of here. It's a terrible list. It's a fucking stupid list. It's ridiculous. Vasily Lomachenko's 14-2. Get the fuck up out of here. Ghana? Who from Ghana is on the pound for pound list? Regardless. They make the list international. It's almost like they want to make sure you see that there's great fighters in every country. So we're going to have the Japanese be represented by their best fighter, Monster Inoue. We're going to let the British be their best fighter, Russia. See, and it makes it look like it's international and that the boxing talent is all over the world, and that's not true. Sorry. Boxing talent is heavily in the United States. We're deeper. Mexico and the United States produce the vast majority of boxing talent, and that's just a fact. It's not equally distributed around the world. It is heavily centered in the United States and in Mexico. That's where it is. And that's why all the fights start here. That's why all the fights are here. Because the talent's here. But you want to act like the talent's off in Japan in the 105-pound weight division. And it's just ridiculous, dude. But anyway, yeah, Petty Killmonger, United States and Mexico. Now, look, I'm not saying look, dude, I know who Black American fighters competition is. Okay? And I'll be straight with it. From somebody that is a fan, and I'm going to be and acting as an advocate for Black fighters. Okay? And I'm going to say this. I am acting on this channel as an advocate for Black fighters. Clearly, that is a revised mission on my channel. I am going to be an advocate for Black fighters because I see them being mistreated. And I think that is a fair and is a valid goal. Right? Because I think, no, I'm not apologizing. I'm explaining that that's the case. I'm going to be an advocate for Black fighters. Being an advocate for Black fighters, let me tell you about Mexican fighters. That if a Black fighter ain't really, 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 really good, he's going to get his ass whooped. Because Mexican fighters know very well how to beat slick defensive fighters. They can do it because they have an incredible wealth of boxing information in Mexico, which is why y'all hype jobs tend to get knocked off by Mexicans. So, like, you won't let your hype job, like AJ, fight Deontay Wilder. You fucked around and let him fight Andy Ruiz. And Andy Ruiz whooped that ass. Okay? Manny Pacquiao got that ass whooped by Juan Marquez. We know who the ass whoopings are coming from. They're coming from Mexico. Okay? They're coming from Mexico. Mexico. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Mikey Garcia knows it. Robert Garcia knows it. Canelo Alvarez knows it. We know it. Gervonta Davis knows it. That's just what it is. But you guys want to act like it's not coming from there. It's way over there in Kazakhstan in the middle of the snow. But Black fighters don't sell, so it's just coincidental that we won't fight them. But I got to get out of here, man. Yeah, I see why I never said nothing, never say anything. What, you got slapped because you said something crazy? Yeah, that'll happen. Anyway, man, it is what it is. And boxing work ethic. Yeah, we're going to be going at it, man. They go at it. But anyway, it is. Dude, we like athletics. Dude, Black Americans are good at athletics, dude. Sports is just, look, man, there is not going to be a sport that we're not going to be good at because we're good at sports. It's just like if you have a group of people that are focused and the only way that they can earn a living is through academics, they're going to be very good academics because they have to be. If you have people that can only see themselves succeeding, if they're excellent entertainers, dude, they will become better entertainers. And that's a fact. They will become better entertainers. So if I can only earn a living by fighting, I'm going to become a better fighter than you are because you're doing it because one guy here and there might really get into it, right? One guy here and there might you get these one-offs like Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's a one-off. Just a one-off. You got a guy in the Philippines with crazy talent, dumb talent. I mean, like dumb talent. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's so damn talented, he's still got dumb talent. Like, you just got to be looking at this dude like, this dude is just a athletic freak. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know some people will say the steroids and stuff, but still, just athletically, that's a superior athlete. That's a superior athlete. And superior athletes will be good no matter where they're from because they have all the athleticism. All you got to do is give them the skill. But if you want to talk about people that are constantly putting out champion after champion after champion after champion after champion, you don't have to look for the next black champion. He's going to slap you in the face. Okay? You got to look for the next. We got to look for the next Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, you got to look for him because there ain't very many of them over there. So keep looking, and everyone that pops up, you want to be like, this is the new one. We found him. Dog, we ain't got to look for athletes in the United States. Black Americans, I can tell you where they are. Literally, like what their addresses are and where they are. And if you would like to get a heavyweight champion, I can tell you how to do it. Put some money, put a dumb amount of money into 30 kids that you think are going to grow to between 6'3" and 6'9", and tell them we're going to teach you how to fight 3 days a week for the first 10 years of your life. And you can go play basketball, you can do whatever you want to do, but you're going to learn how to box. So if you make the decision that you like it, you're going to be an extremely well-schooled athlete and a natural boxer. Right? That's what it would be. But look, man, I got to get out of here. Subscribe. My man Ace, I like this. He said, man, great live today. Had to subscribe. Thank you, man. I work for you, dog. And I appreciate you, man. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace. I don't mind a Monopoly either if it's done right. Monopoly might work better, dude. Give me the fights, because if it's a Monopoly, they don't have any interest in playing games because they own everything. They can actually give you a good product. Give me the Monopoly. Everybody go to the PBC. Please. Peace.